I think it's fair to say that probably the subject that we had most questions about when they came in was perhaps understandably, was the stadium and about the redevelopment. So could you tell us a bit about that, please, especially the Peter Taylor stand?
Certainly. So obviously it's a huge project for us. We think it's absolutely vital for the future of the club that we can upgrade the stadium and the Peter Taylor stand in particular. We've made considerable progress. I appreciate that some people are frustrated, but I think that the reality is we've actually made good progress on it, and we're now at the stage where we should be updating our planning application for submission very soon. We would hope to have a decision this summer. Obviously we want the permission to proceed, but I think we knew when we made the decision that we wanted to develop the Peter Taylor stand and that this current site, rather than to move to another site, that there would be challenges that come with that. We've had to go through all the relevant stages of consultation. We've got a brilliant relationship with all of the relevant authorities, including Rushcliffe, and that has helped. But we're not. I hope the fans realise we're not building an extension on a house here. We're building it's a major infrastructure project, and the challenges come because this is a part residential area and it's also an iconic site. It's been a complex task. We've got, we think, excellent advisors with us, and we've spent £2 million already on the scheme, but we believe we're coming close to fruition in terms of the planning application. So we would hope that we will be there this summer.
Okay. We had some questions from people who knew what they were talking about in planning, and I think we're probably going to need to explain what this one means, but has a Section 106 agreement been agreed with the council? The
Section 106 agreement will be agreed immediately prior to the application being submitted. The Section 106 is essentially, as I understand it, is as explained to me, is that it basically deals with contributions that we will make in order to assist with infrastructure changes and things of that nature. It's closely allied to the transport issues. So we're talking about how we can improve the infrastructure locally to enable the additional flow that's necessary to get the additional fans in to work and to operate in a way which is fair for us and fair for the community. So that's essentially where we are. We're very close, as I say, to negotiating that and having that secured, and it's all part, because of the nature of the challenges we face, it's all part and parcel of that particular process. So we've made good progress on it. We're confident, and we're, as I say, we're coming to, I think, to what we hope are the fine-tuning stages in the process now.
So another question relating to the development itself. Is it dependent on the development of the stand? Is it dependent on the building of the apartment blocks, the associated apartment blocks?
They're all part of the scheme, and we think this is obviously is the way that these sorts of projects are carried out. It's entirely standard. We believe it adds to the scheme. It will assist in terms of providing dwellings in the Rushcliffe area, which obviously is a good thing as well. So it actually has a social benefit, and it assists with the costing. I mean, the owner will still be putting in substantial sums, but having a successful residential project obviously assists, and it will enable us to have better economics all round. So it's an integral part of the scheme. One of the reasons for the delays is we've been carefully recrafting that part of the design to meet the concerns that were expressed about the original plans. So, as I say, it is an integral part. We think it's a positive part. It will assist the club, and we believe it's all part of a very compelling case that we can put together in advance for planning.
We have quite a few questions about the environmental issues with a major infrastructure development like this. Clearly, there'll be substantial. What is the what's the club done with regard to planning for the environmental impact of this development?
Well, obviously that's been high on our list of priorities, and I think it's fair to say that the building standards are pretty robust at the moment anyway. To use a rather inelegant phrase, but which I understand is the buzz phrase, it's lean, clean and green in terms of the energy side of the project. So there will be solar panels, and the building materials will be efficient and highly structured in order to create the most efficient energy use in relation to the stadium. So we hope that makes it indeed far better than what we currently have. That's the aim for that. In addition, a wide array of other benefits and principles that will apply in relation to, in particular, the public transport elements of it. So we're hoping that there will effectively be a green scheme in relation to how the traffic comes in and out of the stadium. So there's a whole array of factors that we're taking into account, and we've been satisfied by our designers and our advisors that what we're doing is absolutely top of the grade in terms of the environmental impact of the stadium. So I think where we want to get to with the application is to get to a place where we've made all the relevant compromises that it's fair for us to make, and where we can have a project which everybody can support in the community and politically. Obviously, you know, we have excellent relationships with all of the authorities, and I think there is a clear understanding of how important this project is for the local area in terms of economic benefits, in terms of jobs, in terms of the whole profile for the city and the local area. And it goes without saying that this is a part of the sporting quarter, which when you come from out of Nottingham and you come here, it is a truly amazing feature of this part of the world and something that desperately needs to be preserved. And I think it would be extremely disappointing if we can't get this through, because I think that the proximity of the City Ground and Trent Bridge, two of the most iconic stadiums in the world of sport, they need to be here, they need to be able to flourish together and to have top grade sport. And as I say, what we are seeking here, it's not just symbolic, it's not just the fact that we want to have the better facilities. It's absolutely fundamental to have a Premier League team here. It's got to have the infrastructure to sustain it, and at the moment we haven't got that, and we absolutely need that, and I think everybody appreciates that. So this is a crucial project, not just I think for the club, but for the whole of Nottingham, the city and the county.
How about the rest of the ground? So the substantial thing that everybody's talking about is the Peter Taylor development, but when that's done, the rest of the ground could perhaps look a bit shabby in areas, perhaps. So what are the plans elsewhere?
Well, I think the priority obviously is to get the Peter Taylor stand done. That's our priority. In the what we hope it will be the additional phases, we'll then obviously look at the Upper Bridgeford, some projects potentially in relation to the corners, but in terms of the actual infrastructure of the stadium and the qualities in the clough, etc., obviously we will need to do some upgrading there as well. We don't want an unbalanced stadium where you've got an absolutely fantastic Peter Taylor stand and let the rest of the stadium become too tired and unattractive. We don't want that at all. We will want a balanced stadium. So we will obviously look when the time is right at the relevant developments we need to do there.
So finally, around the area of the stadium, clearly nobody's been in for a year. It's been quiet because of the COVID regulations. Has the opportunity been taken to upgrade in any way, tidy up, improve the stadium facilities? We
are fully aware that the return of fans will be such a significant event that we will have plans and will have done something by the time that date comes. So we're fully aware of how crucial it is for our fans to come back. We want to welcome them, and we will be undertaking various measures to make it noticeable for the fans that what they're coming back to is improved on what they left. So obviously the development of the ground is so important to us. I think it's one of the most iconic views in football when you come over Trent Bridge and you see the ground, particularly when it's lit up at night. And it was, I think, an article of faith really for the owner that he wanted to try and stay here and to build our future here, because I think that is also what all of the fans want. That's clearly their first choice. As I've said, that does bring some challenges with it. We knew that, we were prepared to face that, and we thought it was a price worth paying to stay here. And we're fully aware that other clubs that have tried to do this have got mired in planning difficulties. We're confident that we can avoid that. It's also, I think, a great example to the fans that the owner is still keen to progress this project, even though we've had a poor season on the pitch. And I hope that the fans realise that shows that the commitment is still there. Some clubs, we're aware, I think, occasionally just produce drawings and keep the fans happy. Clearly, as the accounts show, there's been heavy investment because we believe in the project and we want to get there. And I think it's very important that people realise that we do understand that this football club has been here a long time before us coming and will be here a long time after us going. We are the custodians of the club for the period that we're here. And I think all of us would be absolutely overjoyed if our legacy to the fans, particularly the younger fans at the club who haven't had perhaps the glory that some of the older fans have had, that they have a magnificent, majestic city ground that is fitting for the future and that is there that will enable them to sustain a successful team in the top division. And that's the goal that we all want to achieve. And I think that it is such an important goal that we are all prepared to take the tougher road of having to go through the planning in more difficult circumstances than it would be if we went elsewhere. And we look forward, and we really honestly do look forward and hope for the day when we can welcome everybody to the stadium through the new miracle gates, and for people to go, yeah, this is our home and we're here for good. We've had a tough season, and everything I say does not presume that it's going to be easy to stay up. We obviously still have to put in the hard yards there, but we're confident with Chris and with the team and the way that they're capable of playing that we will be okay. So everything I say obviously is on that basis. Very, very optimistic about the future. I think that we have made significant strides in the right direction, certainly off the pitch. And I believe that with Chris, we have the right person on the football side to lead us. So I think those building blocks are in place. We have the most fantastic fans. And I can assure the fans we don't take them for granted at all, but they have been with us every step of the way in advance of us, and we have been genuinely humbled by the reaction that we've got since we've been here. And it's not just been on match days, it's just been around the city, generally in the community, so welcoming, so friendly, so supportive. And I think also what strikes me is also incredibly knowledgeable as well. And the vast majority, I think, understand that we're going through a difficult season at the moment, but they understand that nothing can be taken for granted in football. And if we can get the fans back, which I'm optimistic we will be able to do in some way, shape or form, certainly by the beginning of the season, and to build up to getting something like a full city ground back again, it will be an amazing combination, I think, with Chris, the owner, and the fans. I think we can really go places. And I just want to stress to people, you know, we do feel the defeats as much as anybody. We have come here for success. It's painful when we don't get it. We're going to make sure we do everything we can in our power to turn it around next season, to put a team on the pitch that the fans are happy with, to have a club which operates off the pitch in a way that they are happy with and that they feel proud to support. And I know the fans will support the club come what may and have done, but we want them to feel proud to support this particular version of the club. So when I look forward, I think that the basics are all in place. We've had a setback, but I believe the right people have learnt the lessons. The resources are still here. The commitment is still here. And at the end of the day, we now just have to concentrate on winning football matches, running the club properly. I think there's been a slight problem. We've all felt a little bit sorry for ourselves. We've got to get over that. We've got to get back in the game and achieve what we set here and came here to achieve. And I can promise the supporters that everybody at the club is working as hard as they possibly can to achieve that. And there are some great people at this club throughout for all levels, and they're all committed to getting this club to where it wants to be. And I promise the fans we will do that, and we will honour that commitment, and we will do our absolute best.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'd like to say thank you to you and to all of your colleagues at Forest for agreeing to do this. I think it needs to be recognised that it's fairly unusual in football clubs to have this degree of engagement with fans, and it's appreciated. I'd also just like to mention that all of the questions we wanted to ask, we were allowed to ask them. You didn't tell us to take anything out, and I think that's very good as well. I hope we can do it again. Thank you very much.
Grateful, thank you.